JC, I Poke Sheldon is back at it again. Yes, Caitlin Clark's arch nemesis is back poking people in the eye, or as some people call her, logo witness, because of how Caitlin Clark was putting belt to booty cheeks her entire career. But anyway, back at it again, man. Actually caught Alyssa Pilley in the eye in Athletic Unlimited.
Getting waived is crazy because, like, what do you do after you get waived? I got all my stuff up here that I drove in a rental car from Atlanta, and now I have to drive all my stuff back to Atlanta, but I can't seem to find a rental car. The team will ship 3 to 5 boxes, but I have more than 3 to 5 boxes worth of stuff.
3 teams discarded her like yesterday's news, each cut stinging sharper than the last. Diamond DeShields loaded her rental car with everything she owned and headed back to Atlanta with no contract and no explanation. Unsigned and overlooked, she voiced her frustration aloud, wondering why no one would take a chance on her talent. The truth stared back from every replay of that fateful season. What unfolded for DeShields wasn't shrouded in mystery. It was plain once you pieced together the quiet dismissals and the unspoken rules of the game. No official ban came from the WNBA offices, no dramatic press release named her, and no paperwork spelled out her exile. Instead, 3 waiver notices slipped out from different teams, turning a solid rotation player into a league outcast in under a year. Fans had been spotting the pattern for months, whispering about it online and in stands. Now, the full story emerges, revealing how the league's invisible hand guided her fate, along with others like Kennedy Carter and Sheryl Swoopes. In a single season, these women learned a harsh lesson. The WNBA doesn't need to swing the hammer of suspension. The market swings it harder, protecting its golden ticket at all costs. To grasp this, rewind to the incident that sparked it all, because the details paint a clearer picture than the quick viral clips ever could.
So Caitlin Clark played against the Chicago Sky just there, and we're pretty confident that she got cheap shotted, and there is a sequence of plays that's crazy, and it leads to Caitlin Clark basically telling her team, is it Erica Wheeler, that she wanted to fight Diamond DeShields. I'm not joking. Madness.
Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever's breakout star, was slicing through the lane at top speed during a game against the Chicago Sky. DeShields had set her stance early, shoulder lowered, gaze fixed not on the basketball, but squarely on Clark's body. The collision was sharp and intentional, sending Clark sprawling to the court. Whistles blew, but referees labeled it a simple common foul. No flagrant call, no instant review, nothing to match the force everyone witnessed. Replays dissected it frame by frame. This wasn't a routine bump in the paint, the kind that happens dozens of times per game in professional basketball. Players jostle, they screen, they defend aggressively. That's the sport's nature. But DeShields crossed into something else, a targeted hit where the shoulder drops low, eyes lock on the person instead of the play, and the impact serves no defensive purpose. Clark lay there as proof, and DeShields' half-hearted hand extension afterward fooled no one. The clip exploded across social media within hours. Fans labeled it a deliberate attack, analysts poured over her positioning, and commentators drew parallels to an earlier foul by Kennedy Carter on the same player. Carter's hip check had floored Clark while she stood still, away from the action, but DeShields' version hit her in full motion, ramping up the danger. Context deepened the shock. DeShields had a history of extra physicality against Clark whenever their teams met. Off-ball shoves, overly hard closeouts, body checks during cuts. It built like a storm. This wasn't a one-off lapse. It was the climax of ongoing tension. Teams noticed, and it influenced how they viewed her value moving forward. The Chicago Sky acted fast. DeShields' playing time plummeted. Her spot in the rotation vanished, and soon came the waiver, couched in bland talk of roster tweaks and future plans. Clark's name never appeared in the statement, but the implication hung heavy. DeShields shared her pain publicly, posting about stuffing her life into a rental car, the drive to Atlanta feeling like defeat, the emotional toll of sudden unemployment after a career of promise. The New York Liberty scooped her up next, a logical fit for a team chasing playoffs needing wing depth. With an all-star nod in her past and proven skills, she seemed to steal. But they limited her to garbage minutes, never trusting her beyond the bench's end, and cut her loose with more vague excuses about chemistry and needs. Strike 2. Then the Connecticut Sun gave her a shot through preseason where she drilled, scrimmaged, and committed fully. Yet they waived her too, leaving her teamless ever since. 3 stops, 3 rejections, and 0 public admissions of the common thread. This wasn't coincidence. League executives chatted behind closed doors. Insiders from various teams revealed sponsors inquiring about the fallout, fans protesting her potential signings, and subtle signals from the league office without formal words. No franchise wanted the backlash of harboring her. Players with her credentials, talent, experience, accolades don't bounce like that unless something non-basketball basketball-related poisons the well. She had the goods on the court, but she'd lost the league's quiet endorsement. Crucial in a niche market like the WNBA, DeShields wasn't alone in this shadow ban. She joined a growing list that season. Line up the cases, and the league's unofficial stance screams loud. Kennedy Carter's saga kicked it off as the first glaring example. In a June 2024 clash between the Sky and Fever, Carter delivered a hip check to Clark far from the ball, catching her unaware and dropping her hard. Refs called a common foul initially, but the league upgraded it post-game to flagrant one, deeming it unnecessary, excessive, and unrelated to any play. That confirmed the tape's tale. No basketball intent, just raw aggression. Carter's bigger error unfolded in the press room. When asked about it, she snapped, "I ain't answering that." Those 4 words ignited a media firestorm, blasting across outlets and signaling to executives her unwillingness to own up in a spotlight moment. With prior conduct flags from other teams, this sealed her file. Her WNBA days ended. She headed overseas as no U.S. team touched her. Sheryl Swoopes followed a different route to the same dead end. No longer playing, this Hall of Famer had pivoted to broadcasting, leveraging decades of respect. She eroded it by repeatedly targeting Clark on air. Swoopes doubted Clark's NCAA scoring record's validity, peddled unchecked narratives about her feats, and when praising the Fever's turnaround, omitted Clark entirely, a glaring gap that sparked its own backlash. Figures like Steve Smith and Nancy Lieberman called her out publicly, fact-checking her claims. The bias snowballed from whisper to headline. The Dallas Wings axed her from broadcast. The WNBA stripped her league-wide duties. A legend torched her media gig by fixating on the league's hottest draw. 3 careers crumbled in sync, all linked to Clark. No league announcements, just silent exits that warned everyone else. Dig into the why, and economics explain it all, even if it unsettles. Clark's rookie and sophomore seasons shattered benchmarks. 337 assists in 1 year. First rookie triple-double, 62 records fallen. Her jersey sales dwarfed others. Fever attendance soared from league lows to sellouts. Road games packed arenas more than some home squads. TV networks, long and different, vied for rights. Sponsors poured in. Her second NCAA final quadrupled viewership from 2 years earlier, outpacing Jordan's 200% NBA boost or Wood's 63% Masters spike. These stats guided decisions on DeShields, Carter, and Swoopes. The 2026 CBA talks loomed with salaries and revenue shares up for grabs. Players sought bigger cuts, and the league's pitch to partners hinged on proven growth. Clark embodied that. Data walking into negotiations, justifying raises for all, veterans included. Targeting her wasn't just bad PR, it sabotaged collective leverage. In rights talks, you can't tout metrics while your product shows players undermining the star driving them. The purges were pure business. Safeguard the asset lifting revenues. DeShields pointed fingers at Clark for her downfall, but numbers tell a straightforward tale. After 25 years, the WNBA found a natural phenom drawing mainstream eyes without hype. Clark lured new fans, engaged casuals, raised the league's potential. Protect that, not out of bias, but because it funds paychecks. Those who clashed with this shift sit sidelined. Adapters thrive. The Fever's core, Boston, Mitchell, Hull, Cunningham, plays selfless ball, passing, moving, celebrating, a marketable style amplified by Clark's pull. This quiet cleanup signals no more harming the tide raiser. Market forces outpace rules enforcing swiftly. As CBA heats up, Clark's deal will spotlight value debates. The league evolves, prioritizing growth over grudges, ensuring survival and prosperity for all who align.